Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the next episode of being a second-class citizen in the Destiny world. That is pretty much where we're at. Is everyone's just a second citizen, an unwanted stepchild when it comes to Destiny. That's right, you're unwanted. If you like Destiny, guess what? You're just there to have your tits milked. Clink, clink. I don't know why I did the pig sound. It's literally moo. There you go. Anyways, this was rumored and people were thinking that it was going to happen way like this little thing dropped on Twitter and it blew up and now everyone is expecting it to happen. But Paul Tassie's here to tell us that Destiny 2 will delay Shadow and Order due to Marathon release dates. Wow. Who would have thought? You know what's funny? Is do I have it? I'm pretty sure. Here it is. I have the article. There was an article about this. Concerns were raised among fans not only over fears that Marathon would affect development of Destiny 2, but also because the new game supports dedicated servers, something which Destiny fans have been after for some time. However, Bungie was quick to quell the worries by responding in a thread on Reddit. We have no intention of abandoning Destiny. Like most studios that support multi-IPs at the same time, we intend to do the same as them. You could argue about the support model we have now, which is fair criticism, but we're working to be better. Much like how D1 and D2 was in the first year, we see that the market wants something more or something different. We will course correct as needed. How about focusing actually on your damn game? The market wants you to focus on the damn game, which is so fucking brain dead because the first year they released something that was they had no choice but to focus on it. Like they had to course correct or they would shut down. Don't make it seem like, oh, we did this like we were wanting to make sure we're doing what's best by our community. Bitch, you did this because you had to financially change the boat or you would fucking sink. Sorry, I know that's aggressive, but it's the honest truth. Don't let Bungie is great at corpo speaking, where they make it sound like they're doing you a favor, and they're not. They're not doing you a favor because they don't fucking care about you. On Monday, Bungie pushed to reveal the Marathon's release date and open up pre-orders even on MLK. Which, you know, it's because of the leaks, because there's no shot. Bungie's like, you know what? What's a good time to announce an extraction shooter where you kill people? Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's so fucked up. Thanks to the fact that it is all leaked the previous day anyway. It was supposed to be today. I was told, yeah, Tuesday. Makes sense. I was told that, but here we are. Marathon will arrive on March 5th. Well, there's a bit of a problem. Destiny 2 Shadow and Order post Renegades. By the way, at this point, Paul is friends of Bungie. This is why I'm always being skeptical of anything Paul says. His tone shift, ever since he was allowed to go to the studio, you could tell his tone shift completely changed, where he's now a Bungie bro. You absolutely cannot take everything he says for face value. I would always be skeptical of him. And it always makes more sense now why he gets so much insider information, because it's not like he hasn't been to the company. He has now. So Bungie knows he's getting inside information. You'd think they would try to plug the leak unless it was being fed to him intentionally. So I know tinfoil hat at the end, but it's very obvious. Always be careful with people once you know, especially journalists, when they're buddy with someone. I am always skeptical about their journalism and whether there's some biasm going on in there. Well, Destiny 2 Shadow Order post Renegades major update is supposed to launch on March the 3rd, which will inject at least some level of new activities and loot into the game after many, many weeks of little to do. I do appreciate the subtle undertone jab. People thought the Lawless Frontier would carry, and it did not. It's not bad, but it felt like seasonal content. Nothing about the expansion, like Final Shape, you could spend like a month or so grinding multiple things out, and it feels pretty lackluster now. It really does. Like, it feels like there's not much to do. But 2 days before Marathon's launch will be too uncomfortable for Bungie and many players. It's not going to be uncomfortable for players unless they're Marathon stans. Let's be honest. By the way, it's not players. Let's stop the music. Let's have a wow moment. Replace this with content creators. Because here's the reality. Players will play on. They'll do the activity. They'll get their guns. And that will be it. Because there won't be any substance to this release. The people who are mostly impacted by this are content creators. Destiny 2 content creators who are bitching about this. Because then they can't make videos for their guides. They can't make videos on the new perks or the new guns. And I think this is a shitty way of going about it. If Bungie delays it, like I think that's the least of their concerns is the content creators. Outside of the fact that they want those content creators playing specifically Marathon and giving it all the intention. Like that's very much so the mindset. But in the general, catering to content creators just so they can make a couple of videos is the dumbest shit you could do as a developer. If you are giving a very small pool the main attention, you are never going to beat the allegations that content creators have more say and leeway about the game. Because this is the allegations content creators have been trying to fight for years. This will give so much more leeway to that argument. I'm sorry. Someone had to say it. Wow. But yeah, it's content creators. No, players are not being uncomfortable about it because players will play it, consume it, and move on. Who would have thought? Also, why can't you play multiple games at once? Like, it's a weird concept to think that you only can play Marathon or you can only play Destiny 2. People can go back and forth, right? It's weird. It's content creators. So let's get the Bungie bros. Let's put the dot on the T. It's content creators. My sources tell me that yes, Bungie will delay the Shadow and Order update because it's too close to Marathon's release, which is funny because they're literally the ones that made the release. So like, oh guys, does anyone communicate in Bungie? Like, do they not plan like at all? Are they that completely disconnected from, hey, Bob, we're gonna release the new update the 3rd. Oh, are you? Oh, well, we're releasing Marathon the 5th. Sorry about that, Tony. Sorry. We should probably talked about this a year ahead or a month ahead or months ahead, something like that. I'm going to tell you, like, yeah. So freaking stupid. But it will probably be announced soon, but it's happening. Okay. Neat. By the way, it makes complete sense why Bungie's doing it. If you think that Bungie is still catering to Destiny players, you're wrong. Their focus is Marathon. That is, I mean, they have Sony breathing the back of their neck. Sony spent $3.6 billion and has lost $204 million because of Bungie. Bungie has to have a banger. So all hands are going to be on deck for this. Absolutely. From a corporate position, it makes the most sense to focus on Marathon. It also just goes to show that how Bungie portrayed themselves years ago, where they built trust and then revenue, trust, retention, then revenue. It's all revenue now. There is no trust. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about me. It's all about money, baby. And this is why I always say, do not have faith in Bungie. This is a company that is inspired by greed. And Pete Parsons is gone. Doesn't matter. Has anything changed? No. Pete Parsons is gone, but nothing has changed. The mentality hasn't changed. It's because Bungie has and always will be greedy bastards, regardless who's leading. This has not thrilled a number of Destiny players who were not planning on playing Marathon, a widely different genre, and just wanted the new content. Here's a sampling of comments I got when I reported on this yesterday, which is funny. Bungie is doing everything they can to advertise to Destiny players. In-game banner for Marathon. Pre-order here. Ornaments, shaders, all this stuff that they're trying to get you for pre-ordering, and also stuff that they're supposed to throw in later. All these things that Bungie is doing to get Destiny players to play the game. And this game is not for Destiny players. They're trying so hard. Guys, we got raid-like activities. And it's one map. And it's funny. We're talking about, and I'm going to say this in a way that I want you to realize I'm not doing it as to antagonize anyone or to make it sound like you're in the wrong. I'm just going to say how it is, right? You're talking about the community that still continues to bring up the fact that vaulted content, paid content, was vaulted and removed. You're talking about the community that doesn't want to give up weapons from 5 years ago. They want more vault space so they can hoard as many guns as possible. You're talking about this community, and you're trying to get them to play a game where they will lose all their gear, where they will have all their stats and progress reset every season. That's right. People don't realize that that's a thing. Extraction shooters wipe every season. Wow. And you're gonna try to convince Destiny players to play this game. Oh, it is so interesting to see what happens, because we're gonna see how's it gonna turn out? How's it gonna play out? Is Bungie gonna be successful? I don't know. So here's some of the replies. Oh, great. Love being second class again. Yep. Fuck, I hate them sacrificing their current money-making baby for the new child, or kid, who hasn't even learned to walk yet. I say allow Concord 2 to release and fail, then Bungie team can get together and focus on working on Destiny 2. I think the appropriate is not, I don't think it's going to be Concord 2. I think it's going to be Anthem 2. Anthem came out, was people were excited for it, and then it got abandoned and fell off a cliff. That's what I see happening to Marathon. Realistically. It should have noted that Marathon struck a big blow against the Concord 2 narrative yesterday when it peaked at number 4 on Steam's bestseller chart for its pre-orders. Being only monsters like CSGO and, of course, Arc Raiders, Concord did not make it inside Steam's top 10, which is funny. You're right. It did strike a blow because that is all just true. But when we're talking about the success, you're talking about pre-orders. And let's just remind everyone that Edge of Fate was also in the top sales for Edge of Fate. And we all know how those numbers turned out, right? Also, you're talking about pre-orders, not concurrent players, because people saw the same thing with Black Ops 7 and thought, oh, it's in the top, like it was in the top 3 or almost 1 or something like that. And it's now the most underperforming Call of Duty they've had in years. I think second to, is it Vanguard? I don't remember which game it was that was the most underperforming. But it's doing so really bad, and player numbers are, the concurrent players are down the toilet. So like, this is not a representative of actual, you know, how people are receiving it, because I think a lot of people are deluded in the fact that just because people aren't openly out there saying they hate it or want it to fail, that those people are not everywhere, that the game has changed opinions. The opinion might be that people just aren't going to buy it and they don't need to waste their time. Like, I think both sides are weird that people have to openly say, I hate it, and I hate it, and I hate it, but they're not actually giving like why you hate it. What is it? Are you wanting to consume it? Like, I criticize Bungie and Destiny because I like Destiny. I want to play Destiny. But openly saying something is bad and never having the intention of even trying to play it is a little weird. I mean, hell, I've even played Marathon, but I play test it. But then you have other people that are just overly like, it's the best thing in the world, the best thing in the world. It's like two extreme camps. And one camp is kind of simmered down while the other is still going crazy. Doesn't mean that it's going to be successful. We'll see. I'm more, what are the actual concurrent player numbers? That's going to be the big test. We may know, we may never know. Who knows? I say that because we won't know about like actual PlayStation numbers and Xbox numbers. And I doubt Bungie, unless it's widely successful, we will never know because Bungie will never release that information. They love giving charts out. They love doing graphs, but they will fucking never give any concurrent player numbers. They will never do that. It should be, let's see. While I get why Destiny players are annoyed, I mean, this was sort of how it had to go. This is what we call the dick eater mentality. This is not how it had to go. This is how Bungie chose for it to go. Bungie also said that, hey, we can do both. We can focus on developing Destiny and providing you what you guys want and what the market wants. And we could do Marathon as well, which is obviously a lie. Bungie, the known liars, a liarson. You should never trust them. They are liars. Everything that they mostly say is a fucking lie. It is hard to overstate just how important Marathon is to Bungie. Again, this is factual. This is a factual statement in probably ways we don't even know. They want all eyes on that launch rather than blending in with Shadow and Order or promotion. And if you have to admit that Shadow and Order is not terribly substantive Destiny release, which is fair. These are very fair statements. But the reality is, it shouldn't matter. Destiny players want Destiny. You should be able to release it and that be the thing that people play. And then people who want to play a new genre will play the new genre. You can have both. At the same time, I get from a corporate standpoint, you don't want to cannibalize yourself. But it goes to show that Bungie cares more about Marathon than they do Destiny 2. And it's been that way for 2 years. The only time it felt like they actually gave a shit was the final shape because they panicked and did Into the Light and tried to bring people back because everything looked so bad and they had to delay the final shape. They had to delay Marathon. They delayed so much shit and it looked really bad. That's why we had so many layoffs. And so it literally put their ass on the burner and we got final shape, which I thought was good. It could have been better. There was a lot of issues I have with it, but overall it was a good expansion. And you have to admit that it's not going to be too substantive, and that's fair. That's a fair argument. It really isn't going to be that much content, which it says more again about them focusing on Marathon than Destiny because the content that should be from Shadow Order should be substantive. It should last you an entire 6 months or whatever into the next expansion. It should be substantive, but we know based on Ash and Iron, it's not. At best, it's a few new activities, events, and some loot. It's not even one of the new, smaller expansions in the post-Final Shape era, and it's not the Final Shape. Despite the differences in genre, a large chunk of who Bungie hopes will play Marathon are Destiny players, which makes no fucking sense to me. It is so fucking weird to do this. At least try it out. And with many of them loyal to Bungie for years or a decade or almost 3 if you go all the way back to Halo, it's the third new Bungie shooter IP in 30 years. This is what we call Stockholm Syndrome. I'm going to say, if you are still loyal to Bungie, if you still trust Bungie after all these years and you have faith in them, you have some kind of ism or some kind of mental disability. And it's probably Stockholm Syndrome. Like no normal functioning human being would even think to trust Bungie or have faith in them or be loyal to them. You could be loyal to Destiny and love Destiny, but the company itself, to have faith in them, you have to either be a new player who's out of the know, or if you're someone who's spent years with them and still is faithful to them, you have a disorder of some sort. You need to go see therapy. That's all I'll say. So annoying, maybe. Understandable, yes. I'll report more on the exact timing of the delay when I figure it out. I don't think the timing is even set yet. I'm gonna be honest. I think Bungie should, if they're gonna delay it. And here's the thing: the delay that they're going to do is not for the benefit of the Destiny 2 players. It is strictly for the promotion of Marathon. It's not like they're gonna put it on the back burner and really work and fine tune the season for all the players to enjoy. They said the same thing about Heliostat, that they delayed it to keep working on it. And it was a 10-minute legendary mission. It was like a 10-minute legendary mission, campaign mission. It was awful. So let's be honest with ourselves here. The delay is not good. It's not good for Destiny 2 players. It's just not. Unless if they came out and said, hey, we're actually going to work on it, we're going to have devs work on it and add some things to it or fine tune it, then I would say, sure, okay. But that's not what they're doing. This isn't a delay in the benefit of the Destiny 2 community. This is a delay in the benefit of Bungie and making sure that their content creators and that all their devs are on deck to work on Marathon. That's the reality. Let me know what you think down below, Mr. Gaming Counselor. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.